Hello, my name is Tracy Jenkins. I'm the branch manager for Pontypool in South Wales. We're on approximately 2,400 hours at the moment, and the team is working hard because we're hoping to hit the record books next week and hit 2,500. So if I'm smiling at the conference, you'll all know why. Pontypool is a very successful branch at the moment. We've got continued growth. We're meeting our budgets, and in fact we're well above our budget at the moment. That, obviously, to use the old adage, is behind every successful branch manager is an extremely competent and successful team who are doing all the work, really. And I think without a good branch staff and people that are motivated to succeed, then a branch is unlikely to succeed. We work across 4 local authorities: Powys, Newport, Torfaen and Monmouthshire. The main local authority we deal with, though, is Torfaen, where we actually won a block contract of 1,000 hours. However, we're currently running at about 1,400 hours with that contract, and that is mainly due to quality service and the relationship we have with Torfaen, which is excellent from the brokerage aspect up to and including the performance and commissioning teams. Torfaen visit regularly with performance meetings, and we have regular provider meetings with them, so we get to know each other pretty well. And one of the things they have said about Allied and myself is how refreshing it is to work with us, because we are so open and honest in what we do, what we try to provide, and what we're doing continually to improve the service that we deliver. I've always found the best policy with local authorities is to admit mistakes when we make them, and therefore when they are looking at our performance, they know what we've done wrong, but how we've counteracted that and what we're actually doing to improve it. One of the tools that Allied Exec have introduced is CRT, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with. We in Pontypool are actually loving this tool. We think it's a wonderful way to track our compliance and to keep a track on everything we're doing quality-wise. Not only that, it's something we've shown to the local authorities, who are very impressed with it. They can see how well Allied are working towards quality and fully compliant workers. In fact, much more than they are asking for. So it shows that we're going above and beyond what local authorities expect and what care standards expect as well, because the CSSIW inspector was very impressed with it as well. So it's a tool we can continue to use. We have 82 compliant workers at the moment. We're hoping within 2 weeks we will have 100% compliance. So it's something we are working extremely hard towards.
Today I'm here to talk about Cold Harbour. If we look at the benefits, it's a much more reliable system. There are no housekeeping or backups to floppy disks any longer. No generation of timesheets. Any number can approve a timesheet any time after the last shift. We don't have to wait until a Monday to generate. The system can be used anywhere in the country as it is internet based. Compliance can be managed much better. There is no overlapping on rotas, which also satisfies CQC. The system allows massive mileage savings, as this calculates from postcode to postcode. The system has less errors, hence reissuing of invoices, any payroll adjustments. As long as everything is put on the system correctly at the outset, then there should be no errors whatsoever. The timesheets can be approved at any time after the visit is complete, so there's no need for timesheet generation on a Monday. More than one member of staff can approve the timesheets at the same time, and the system will not allow any overlaps. We have CM2000 running alongside Cold Harbour, which reduces our timesheet entry significantly, as the call monitoring will match all the planned visits in Cold Harbour. The system has a built-in programme which allows mileage to be calculated from postcode to postcode. This is a massive saving to the company, as actual miles are calculated, whereas in the past we would round up to the nearest mile. Once a carer's timesheet is confirmed, the screen shows a complete status, and should a timesheet be missing for any reason, this will show as a TBC status. This enables the coordinators to know exactly which timesheets are missing. The reports that Cold Harbour can produce are fantastic. We can run an hours report for both clients and for staff. We can look at what a predicted export is and the actual export. We can look at all unconfirmed shifts, which is known as the on-holds, to see exactly what we're waiting to come in. We can look at reasons the clients may have cancelled, so we can look at how many hours are in hospital or respite or holiday or cancel for any other reason. If we are monitoring carer's sickness, we can run reports on how many days the carer has had off sick and when it is and for what reason. We can look at a mileage summary, so I can see exactly how many miles I'm paying each week. A compliance report is run for 3 months in our branch. This can be split by each skill, or it can run for everything that carer requires. These are just a few of the reports the system can produce. The list is endless. Virtually anything you would like to know, you can pull a report from this system.
Now, Beccles is a small market town with a population of 9,500 people, so it is really important as a small branch or as a small business within a small town that I've had to diversify over the years. What I want to talk to you about today is a new tender that we won last year. It's called a flexible support service for people living with dementia. This is currently bringing in about 600 hours a week. It really does highlight the need to look at small opportunities that come along. We tendered for this contract last November. It was questionable whether we went for it because there was such a small amount of money linked to it, 140,000, which is really a drop in the ocean. And as you all know, going through the PQQ stage, the tendering process, the presentation stage, it was, is there enough money behind this to actually make it worth our while? We were the most expensive provider tendering, and I think that says something in as far as we won the contract, albeit that we'd gone in at the highest price. My margins for this contract, in case any of you are interested, is 44%. And I think we won it, or I know we won it, on the way that we roll this out. We don't run it as normal dom care. We run it very much on the lines of the continuing care programme with a case manager linked to it to support on a day-to-day basis and a consultant at the branch level supporting the coordination. We are running 500 to 600 hours a week on this project. Oh, before I move on, I just wanted to say that part of the tendering process, for the first time ever, I decided to put a start-up fee in, as well as going in at high margins. And that start-up fee was for 5,500, and they paid that willingly. And so I think that's something to consider with tenders, specialist tenders like this in the future. Anyway, moving on, we have now been running this scheme for the last 10 months. It started in January and it is really successful. The County Council have long ago spent the 140,000, but they found more money, which I always felt they would. It's now been looked at for the PCTs to get involved because they can see that money has been saved through a lessening of hospital administrations, etc. So they are now going to joint fund it moving forward, which is great news. The County Council have now approached me and asked me to expand my geographical area of service. Of course, being a businesswoman, I've said, yes, I will do that as long as we can look at a higher rate being charged, which they've agreed. So I suppose my message today for all of you running small branches, or maybe even not running small branches, but from my point of view, is to recognise that I've had to diversify and cover every single sector of healthcare there is out there, and also to look at those small specialist contracts that come along, and as they say, from small acorns.
Some of the key points to running a branch for people who might be sort of more new at this, leading from the front is, I would say, the most important. Whatever you do, the staff will follow. If you're looking busy and you're proactive and positive and really going for it, then your staff will follow. If you're gentle, calm and quiet in the background, that's probably how your staff will be. So getting the right people in, the marketer, the coordinators, the compliance person or people, and the administration dealing with the timesheets, etc. Really important to get them right. And making sure that your whole office systems are right, the filing cabinets, the list of what the company needs on a weekly basis, with the pipeline, with the manpower, how the complaints are dealt with, just having the filing cabinets and the shelves neat, everything away, clearing the desks before everyone goes home, emptying out the bins, just really makes it feel like a more organised environment to work in. And also regular office meetings for everyone together, but also office staff appraisals are important, where you can tell them individually just how really well they're doing and the other areas that we can raise the bar with and how they need to achieve those and go about them. Also, I find over the years that if we don't have activity in the office and it feels quiet, then we've got problems. So I really promote constant activity in the office and real tenacity to get on with it. I mean, you know, some of the office staff have been with me many years, and I'm sure many a time we've thought we just don't want to be doing this, but we've stuck with it anyway. And I think that's the thing, you have to have tenacity and really make sure that you're just sticking with it and keep doing it however hard it feels. Customer services, absolutely key if we look after our staff, if we look after our clients, and it's treating our staff really nicely. It's not sounding cross with them on the telephone, it's trying to treat them with kid gloves and make them feel really valued. Lastly, I did just want to touch on the company. Having been with the company a while, I've seen the changes over the years, and I know with the learning curve for all of us that's going on at the moment, with everything that's being put into place, and there are so many things and it is so difficult sometimes to keep up with them all. But I think we need to try and support the company and realise that head office are putting things into place, and it's just as much a learning curve for them as it is for us, but that what we're really working towards is an even more, and we already have it, but an even more quality service so that we can get the work more easily and we can keep it. And with things like e-learning, Cold Harbour, the CRT, management of medication, the audits, I know that these are all quite challenging and quite difficult at times, but the company is obviously leading us in the right direction, and I would say that this is the place to be.